Your firm is worth a lot less than you think, and we're going to try to fix that with you in 12 months. I know that title stings, but if you're a PI firm owner thinking about an exit in the next 3 to 5 years, the number in your head, the one that you think you're going to sell for, is almost certainly wrong. Today, I'll show you the 7 valuation killers that private equity buyers see in the first 2 hours of diligence, and exactly how to fix each one before they ever walk in the door. Quick context, my name is Hugo E Gomez. I'm the founder of Abogados Now. We've helped over 500 law firms nationwide, generated over $250 million in revenue, and we're a premier Google partner agency, which puts us at the top 3% of agencies in the world, which is wild to even say that. I built marketing systems for companies that got acquired, full stop. I know what diligence looks like from the inside, and that's what we'll be talking about today. So let's talk about multiples. Let's first look at a 3x versus an 8x multiple for a company doing the same revenue. The gap is what we're fixing today. Two firms can both do 10 million in revenue, while one sells for 15 million and the other one sells for 50 plus million. The difference is never the revenue. It's these 7 things I'm about to show you. Number 1, your financials are a mess. I know you don't want to hear this, but if your primary financial statement is the return that your CPA files every April, you're leaving millions on the table. Cash basis books and annual tax returns are not diligence ready. PE will discount you 1 to 2 turns for this alone. A 2-turn discount on $5 million EBITDA is $10 million that you just lost on bookkeeping. Simple fix, just move to a different type of accounting. GAAP accrual with monthly closings. And also hire a fractional CFO. This is a super high leverage investment that you can make in the next 12 months if you're thinking about an exit. Number 2, you're the brand, and that's killing your valuation. If your firm can't run without you for 90 days, PE will either lower the multiple or trap you into a very long earnout cycle. Either way, both cost millions. They call this a key man risk. What I call it, it's a problem. So build a brand that exists independently of your face, of your name, of your likeness. Hire a marketing director or a CMO who owns the entire strategy. Stop being the only person at the firm who can make decisions about how the firm shows up in the market. So I want you to fire yourself from this mode in the next 12 months. Like I mentioned earlier, hire that leadership. That's really key. That's probably the biggest leverage point here. But you also want to build a creative system and a brand book that anyone can run. Start featuring other attorneys and also other staff members in your content and your ads, and document every process that currently lives in your head. So to stress test it, go away for 2 weeks, like no phone, no email, no anything, and see what breaks. Whatever breaks is what PE will discount. Number 3, your marketing data wouldn't survive diligence. This is the one that catches every firm off guard, and I've seen this firsthand. So prepare to be asked for up to 2 years of customer acquisition costs by channel, or your cost per sign case, and conversion rates. If you can't produce it, your valuation quickly drops. Not because the numbers are bad, but frankly because the numbers don't even exist. So build the attribution stack right now. Cost per sign case, by channel, by case type, monthly, weekly, quarterly, annually. Start tracking this today, and in 12 months, you'll have a year of clean data. In 24 months, you'll be diligence ready. During diligence, expect conversations about a good attribution stack. So good attribution stacks include data around cost per sign case by channel. Like, what is your cost per sign case from Google or LSA or SEO or referral systems, etc. Then you need them by case types. Paired with that, you need intake conversion rates by channel, by agent. That's like true elite status tracking right there. Then you need a blended CAC trend line. What are your costs every month, every quarter, annually? Are there patterns that repeat? And you need all of this going back at least 2 years. If you start today, you'll have 12 months of data by this time next year. That's the minimum to be credible in a real diligence room. Number 4, you're mostly paid media with no own channels. Private equity sees this and they immediately discount your multiple. If your caseload disappears when you stop spending on paid ads, that's fragility. It's not really a business. Paid media is rented attention. It's fleeting. Brand is own equity. And frankly, PE wants to buy, ironically, equity. So invest in SEO, brand search, content, referral systems. Build demand that you own and isn't owned essentially by Google and Meta. You don't want your future determined by these massive tech companies. Every dollar of paid media should be doing double duty. Yes, it needs to be generating cases today, but it all should also accelerate the assets you build tomorrow. So here are the own channel buildouts you need to have in the next 12 months. You need to launch or rebuild your SEO targeting specific cities and practice area types. I would even say contextualize this with LLMs, AI SEO, or GEO. Start a YouTube channel at minimum, 2 videos per month. It's not very difficult in these days where especially you can get a lot of help building out scripts for you. You want to do this at scale once or twice a week. Then you want to build a system with medical providers and attorneys. Don't just rely on the occasional networking event to build out your network. Collect everyone's information into a text messaging system or email automation system so you're not only on top of mind with consumers, but also with those that can give you ongoing referrals. Then you need to track branded search volume every month. It should always be trending up. If you're investing in paid media, that should be accelerating how familiar you are in a market. And that's seen through branded search terms. So ultimately, you want to get away from the scenario where Google and Meta and TikTok and all these other paid media platforms really own you and really own the future of your firm. Start weaning yourself off paid media and start really being more intentional about the media that you own that you can draw audiences to on your own terms. Number 5, if one source is more than 25% of your cases, that's called concentration risk. And it's a huge red flag in the first week of diligence. So what you want to do is diversify across many channels, sources, and case types pursuant to your marketing budget. You don't want to have a single dependency. And the goal is to have a portfolio, not just a pipeline. So here's what diversification looks like. First of all, you need to have CRM. If you're operating your entire marketing stack out of Google Sheets, stop this video, get a CRM, and then come back in a couple weeks. But first off, get into your CRM and find out what percentage of your signed cases came from each source over the last 12 months. And if any source is over 25%, you need a plan right now to dilute it. That de-risks your whole marketing platform. You also need to introduce at least 2 new channels in the next 12 months, like AI SEO, social media, man on the street interviews, like do something different. And you want to diversify the content about case types. So for instance, if you're just generating MBA cases, that could actually be hurting you in the long term. You want to diversify the case types so you're also incorporating trucking and premises and rideshare, etc. So you want to make sure that you're looking at this not just every month at the minimum. If you can, look at this every week if you're more of a high volume player. Number 6, your intake converts at 15% and no one's measuring it. Private equity will find this in the first few hours of talking to you, and it could change every projection that they build out. I'll be very honest, intake needs to be seen as a sales department, and it's seen as the highest leverage function in the firm. So if your firm converts at 15% at intake, they'll discount the entire top line because every revenue projection they build assumes better conversion. And if you haven't built better conversions, they're going to price out the risk and build it out themselves. So build the intake machine and measure every agent. Target 60+% conversion within 12 months. This is the fastest way to add enterprise value without spending more dollars on advertising. So here's a big overhaul that you should start considering with your intake team if you haven't already. Don't just start measuring leads to contact, but also contact to consult and consult to signed. Those are 3 metrics that every thriving intake department measures on. You also want to measure this by agent, and you want to redistribute the best calls to your closers. You want to implement speed to lead in under 5 minutes. We talked about this in another video where your competition is waiting several days to get back to a lead. If you really want a true exit, you need to have high speed to lead metrics. So with 24/7 coverage. And you also want to build a script that's repeatable, that's trainable. You don't want folks to improvise these frameworks. And lastly, you need to get to 60% intake conversion within the next 12 months. Lastly, number 7, you don't have a forward pipeline model. This is the one that separates the 3x firms from the ones getting 8, 10, 15x multiples. When your firm is being sold, they don't just want to buy what you've done. They buy what's about to settle. And you have to forecast it because they need to underwrite it. And if they can't underwrite it, they won't pay a premium for it. So map every open case and build a 12-month forward revenue model from your current inventory. I mentioned getting a fractional CFO. They should be able to do this in a couple hours. This is the central document that makes a buyer confident enough to write you a check. So here's what the pipeline build out looks like. You need to have every case, when it was open, when it's expected to sign, if it hasn't been signed already, what stage it's in, the expected fees, the probability of things falling out, falling through, going through, etc. You also need estimated timing for settlements by case type. Every firm handles this a little differently. And you need to have a forward revenue model with your current inventory. Again, your CFO should be able to model this out, especially with services like Claude and other LLMs. These are amazing tools to build out forecasts on your own. You want to update this monthly. This becomes one of the most valuable documents in the entire diligence process because it really adds a lot of confidence to your case to be sold. And lastly, you need to tie the marketing pipeline to the case acquisition forecast. Don't just assume that revenue works on its own. You have to build a story that revenue works right alongside the story that you're paying for marketing. So these are 7 valuation killers, which are all fixable in about 12 months. The firms that fix them get the top of range in terms of multiples. And the firms that don't, they frankly get lowballed or they rarely ever get sold, to be honest. Private equity offers only move in one direction when you're unprepared, and that direction is down. At Abogados Now, we build a marketing that holds up in diligence, attribution, intake, brand, diversification, the infrastructure that buyers want to pay premiums for. We're trusted by Jacoby and Myers and some of the largest PI brands in the entire country. 12 months from now, where do you want your multiple to be? Let us help build a plan with you. So book a call. Our link and information is in the description. So let's talk.